Welcome. Coral Reef Aquarium School Basic. Today, this will be our second part where we talk about water. Now, a teaser or a reflection. So when you have your tank set, ask yourself, are you really keeping fish or are you keeping water? Whether pure mass or the pure volume, you're keeping a lot more water than you are keeping fish. We already talked about it last time. I mean, part of the purpose with the aquarium and the filtration of the aquarium is to keep a good quality of the water. So that comes back. You need to maintain and take care of your water, and that's what we want to start focusing on today. Now, starting with tap water. What is acceptable for humans to drink does not equal it's acceptable for corals to live in. And even in some parts of the world, you're not recommended to drink tap water. So that's even worse. But please remember that what is acceptable for humans to drink doesn't equal it's acceptable for corals to live in. Corals are sensitive symbiotic invertebrates. And tap water can contain trace elements and minerals that ultimately kills your corals. I give an example here of a bird's nest coral that has tissue necrosis. And that was triggered by too high alkalinity in the water. And then probably a lot of other effects as well. But the first root cause was high alkalinity, which stressed it to go into tissue necrosis. Now, the solution for this is to install a reverse osmosis filter. And and this I recommend. And what is a reverse osmosis filter? It's a type of water filter, usually minimum 3 canister, where the first one is a sediment filter to remove dirt, rust and sand, and the other one is an activated carbon filter to reduce chlorine and organic impurities, and the final one is the actual reverse osmosis membrane that remove the dissolved salts. And optionally you can complement it with other canisters. And in my part of the world it's very popular to complement it with what we refer to as a silicate filter to remove the very minor parts of dissolved salts which is not captured by the osmosis membrane, or when you start wearing out the osmosis membrane, it gives you a longer life to the complete filter unit if you have a silicate filter. Okay, I give a picture as a basic example to how such a system can look when you look for it in the shop. Some alternatives exist to this, and looking at the alternatives, well-sorted local reef stores, they may keep pre-mixed salt water or even ocean seawater, where they've checked the ocean seawater with laboratory equipment. And some local reef stores, they may even sell reverse osmosis water. Now, to me, trust is important. I want to be honest. So, actually, when it comes to this point, I am privileged to live in a city that takes meticulous water samples, close to 2 times per day. And actually predating my decision, multiple experts claimed and also multiple reefers showed that it was possible to run on tap water in the city I'm living in. So actually after 10 years using the reverse osmosis filter, I actually let go. But after 5 years with tap water, I actually wasn't completely happy, so I made a DIY filter. But this part, it's me being honest. Don't try this at home, at least not the first 10 years when you don't have, when you don't know exactly what you should be looking of. And we get back to some of the comments on this one. Now, if you yeah, if tap water doesn't kill your corals, you will risk running into a lot of problems with algae, which you don't want in your main display. I give an example on the picture, which is diatomic algae. Sometimes it is claimed to be triggered by spring flood or flooding the water treatment facilities. But actually the picture here shows one of my aquariums when I was using a reverse osmosis filter. So the diatomics can be triggered by other things as well, other imbalances. But that is one example where you can run into troubles, and the diatomics is by far not the worst problem you can run into. Now, so getting back to tap water, unless you know exactly what constitutes your tap water and that it's acceptable for coral growth, and then we're talking down to parts per million and parts per billion level, and we're also talking all year performance, I strongly recommend the use of reverse osmosis filter, given the alternatives we talked about also. Now, that said about the water, in our next episode we will be focusing on salt. So we combine salt and water, we get salt water. That said, I wish you a pleasant evening, and thank you for listening. Bye bye.